Hey y'all, welcome back to Sitting with Ashley and Ashley. I thought I was recording, but I wasn't. Hi. So right now I'm working on the unschooling paperwork that I have to accompany the ESA scholarship that we receive. As we are homeschooling or unschooling beyond homeschooling, unschooling is just a term to follow the child's lead, like allow your child to. Because remember, being a kid, you like wanted to know stuff, you were curious and stuff, and so unschooling is a space to kind of combine what's necessary for the and appropriate for the age with the child's interests. And it's my responsibility as the mom and teacher in this environment to figure that out for us. And so I have to take really good notes, and I haven't. We are only in our third quarter of first grade, though, so I just went back and did the first two quarters in my document, and I just wanted to share if there are any other families that would like this to be helpful. So, because I received the scholarship money, I have everything broken up by quarter. And I did create this document all the way through 12th grade as a template. So I'm going to share what I have as my template with you guys in case you would like to implement this on your own. So it is a huge document because I went all the way to 12th grade. So I'm going to try and share this screen quick. I tried to pull it up on my phone, but I don't think I have it saved in my drive. Okay, so for each quarter, so I have the school year. So for this first quarter, we have 2025 to 2026 school year, and I have his grade that he's registered for. So we're registered for first grade. And then I have each quarter the amount received from ESA. I'm going to keep that part private on my end. If you watch the unschooling videos, you can go in and do the calculations if you'd like to know, but I'm not going to share that. It is something that is determined by the state, and it is the money that the school would be getting for. I'm looking over here because my camera's over here, but you guys are right here. Anyway, it's money that it would be given to the school for your kiddo to cover, salary, teacher stuff, materials, lunch, food like that, stuff like that. I don't know. And so instead, Arizona has this program that is very, it's pretty much hated by a lot of people in Arizona, especially parents who aren't a part of it. There is this underlying, there's a huge conversation right now that's trying to make homeschooling like not viable. And it's just an interesting conversation. It's whatever. People want, people say like this is a free country, but then everyone wants to bitch about how people choose to use their freedom and programs that exist for such things. So, anyway, because of that money, people are getting audited, and so I think it's really important for us. I'm not being inappropriate with any of the money, but in case they do come, I want to have a record of everything I've bought, how we're using it, and his progress with it. So, like I said, I have it broken down by quarter. So I have first grade, quarter one, items bought, and then I've listed everything I bought to the best of my ability. But again, I already made videos about everything, so if I really need to like fine tune it, which I don't feel the need to do right now, but it would be easier to do now than in fifth grade having to go back, right? So I want to make sure I'm as specific and organized as possible. So then after the items I bought, I have a plan of action, followed by a curriculum. So then I'm just doing like a little bit above a blurb or a paragraph or whatever. And then I have expectations and goals as two different things. And then I have learning style, which I spelled wrong. There's no T. Okay. And then I have measured outcomes. So we can, show what he's doing. So that would be like where you receive your grades and whatnot. So obviously I'm not, well, it might not be obvious. I'm not grading him, on a scale that public school grades. But I am making sure that we're continuing to develop, right? So I have that listed. I'll share. So this is for the first quarter. And the measured outcomes that I've been able to see for him was that his temperament and communication has improved. immensely. He's very aware and active in our day-to-day situations. He's building confidence and learning a lot. When he has new words, he likes to show that he understands. He's repeating more sounds and tones. My son is nonverbal, um, so he's repeating more sounds and tones, which is helpful for speaking in the future. So that's some of the measured outcomes that I've been able to see. He's grown a lot in the past few months, and I know it's because of the ability to have all of these resources. So then I have a space for strengths, and I have a space for improvement, like needs improvement. And then I have a special needs space for us, which would be like an IEP area. So for that, I have special needs. He's nonverbal communication is improving. His willingness to use his hands to communicate, and high frustration when not heard or expecting immediacy. So those are things that we're working on. Pretty normal age-based stuff, but again, we have underlying things that a lot of kids don't. Then I have interests and curiosity, and then an overall like blurb. So we're going to be continuing to build on the interests and curiosities, which is why I put it last. So then we go into first grade, quarter 2. Same thing. I was able to just go back quickly and put all of that, like fill all of this in. So again, I have all of this set for all the way until senior year. So I'm going to do it one more time. We have the plan of action, curriculum, expectations, goals, learning style, measured outcomes, strengths, needs improvement, special needs, interests, and curiosities, and overall. And then at the very end of the year, I have an end of year review, next year's goals, next year's areas of improvement, and additional notes. So that is my document. That's the template that I came up with that works for us to keep track of everything. I do have an additional document over here that is also K through 12, that I googled all of the like legal education requirements to make sure that we're not, going way left field, but we're keeping things pretty, like how he would be learning in public school. But we don't have to do a lot of the repetition over here, because when he gets it, he gets it. So I know that, first grade focuses so much on like colors and shapes and letters and numbers and like really honing that in, which is fine. That works for a lot of kids. But like Niall knows it. So he doesn't want to spend time on it because he already knows it, right? Like, yes, he can't talk, but he knows his alphabet. He knows his letters. And he has exhibited that to me on the whiteboard, right? Which is why I got the whiteboard, because I knew he would like that. Because when we teach at the college, he always plays on the whiteboard. And I was like, that's going to be really big for him. So giving him different spaces and materials is where it's at for us. Again, this isn't for everybody, but it works for us, okay? So I just wanted to share, again, if you are a parent who would like to create something like this or needs to do something, I think it's really important, especially with the conversation about education right now, the how the Department of Education is, changed now to the Department of Labor, how children are being seen as resources or being talked about as resources. I think it's really important to protect our kids on a lot of fronts, and I think that this document is a form of protection for us, not only for the money that we're receiving, but also for the ability to have measured outcomes documented, right? Especially for homeschooling and unschooling, with the societal conversation about it. I just think it's really important to keep your shit organized. So I hope this helps. Have a good one.